Homeschoolers, magandang araw po sa kanila. And this is our part 2 of our How to Teach English Without Losing Your Mind with Andi Miller. Hi, Andi!
Hello!
Thank you so much. And at our first part, we talk about reading. Now, we're gonna talk about spelling. Oh, no! I still remember when I was in school, that's what's my hardest part of
really?
spelling. Yeah, I'm not good. Maybe because I don't have a good foundation in phonics. That's why I'm having a hard time with spelling. That's why when I teach my kids during homeschooling, I really research what's the good foundation. How about you, Andy?
Well, every child is different. Let me say that. I thought it was fine with my first, breezed through the second, and then my third.
What happened to your
I
third?
did the same things that I did with my first and my second, and my third still can't spell.
Okay. So that is what age?
Since day one.
Since
Since day one. Starting a sentence with a capital letter, spelling, it really tested me a lot because I honestly would get upset. I didn't understand what it was
yeah.
that he didn't get.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. Failure number 1.
Yes, see? The goal of this video is also is you can learn from our mistakes. That's the goal. There's no perfect curriculum, there's no perfect formula. And the good thing about homeschooling is you could be able to really share our mistakes and learn from one another. And this is a good avenue. So, because spelling is a really good foundation for writing. So, how did you do that with your third child? So that he could be able to really grasp about spelling.
Well, he's very auditory.
Oh, okay.
The other two, I used more of a paper-based spelling curriculum where they would, write out the sentences or create a crossword where all the spelling words for that week had to fit.
Yeah.
Different, or write a story with all the spelling words off of a list.
That's nice.
And it worked for the older two. For my third, he's so auditory that sitting still and reading took a little bit more work. So I researched and I just found a curriculum where
What's that?
it's IEW.
Oh, that's why!
The spelling. Yes.
That is what Andy was sharing to me when I had this dilemma with my writing. Okay,
Yeah.
share this to us.
So they're CDs.
Okay.
And you plug them in. Everybody is encouraged, no matter what age you are when you start, to start with Pack A List 1.
Okay.
And their idea is it's all auditory. So you put in the earphones and you are supposed to write, at first it gives you the word and then it spells it out. Like deer, D-E-E-R. And you dictate on a piece of paper as you hear it in your ear. And so then you have to take a test afterwards where they just give you the word and they say it twice and they use it in a sentence.
Okay.
And so then the child has to write it out, and there's printable blank sheets where you write it out. And then you have to check it as a student. So you check it back. It's all recorded, so they just listen and follow along. I don't really have to do anything. And if you miss any, then you just keep doing that list. And you do it again, and you do it again, and you write it out again until you get it right twice.
Okay.
When you get it all right twice, then you can move on to list 2. So it's not like, week 1 is this spelling list, week 2 is this spelling list, week 3 is this spelling list. The list could take 3 weeks or it could take 2 days.
Okay, that's good. So, just to be clear, IEW is Institute of Excellence in Writing by Andrew
Pudwa.
Oh, I have to pronounce that very well because that is a really good investment. Actually, can you say that this curriculum can be able to cater to all learning style?
I think so. There's something in it for everybody, even parents.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of mindsets in writing that it's really a breakthrough for me as well, because when I went to you, the spelling is not an issue. It's really the writing, how to be creative with it and not be intimidated by it. But later, I don't like to preempt, but we're going to focus on spelling. So, like for example, I still remember my child as well, because my second child, he doesn't like also that the writing stuff of spelling. So what I did before is is start for him telling me it instead. Like for example, cat, act, and then he will just say that. So if your child doesn't like to write yet, you don't. Again, I think we have reiterated this a while ago with the reading. You don't have to force them. Let them have the learning process to be very enjoyable for them. The goal is having a good experience. Like some of the homeschoolers that I talk to, spelling is like they don't like to touch that. They don't like to. You just like to skip it.
Well, English is.
Yeah.
There's so many exceptions.
Yeah.
Like it is hard.
Yeah, but it's really foundational, and we really have to be patient with ourselves first, so that we could be able to be patient with our kids. I think that's the key. So, in terms of this is the small kids. So, when they're getting big, do you have any inputs that you can tell us on how to really improve in that skill of spelling?
Spelling, I only started by kindergarten and grade 1
Okay.
again. Like this is all age 5, 6, especially
Okay.
with boys. I was
Okay.
also encouraged by previous teachers and home educators.
Okay.
Boys are very active.
Okay.
And so to push them to sit somewhere and learn can really actually
Yeah.
not be the best for your relationship,
Yes.
number one, because
Yes.
it could actually pave the way for them to not enjoy learning.
Yeah.
So I was encouraged. All my kids are a little older
Mm-hmm.
than maybe their grade or what some people would put their kids in.
Yeah.
Because of that fact, I wanted them to play. Boys learn so much through play. Sometimes being physical and
That's
wrestling
good, that's
around
good.
is their way of showing affection.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
fourth son, he loves wrestling, and it can get kind of violent. But
Really?
but that's his way of physical. That's his way of showing physical touch with his
I'm
brothers.
just curious, how do you say it violent? So that they will know
Oh,
it's violent.
there's always someone who gets hurt.
Okay.
You know, like a bruise.
Because
or something where they have to ice their
all
elbow.
his kids are boys.
Yeah. Yes.
So don't be shocked.
No.
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, not fighting violence. Oh no. Just that sometimes comes with wrestling. You know, accidentally an elbow to the jaw, or falling off a bed. You know.
Yes. So there's a lot. Spelling is really a good foundation, and sometimes it's really not easy to teach. Especially what are the motor skills are that being sharpened in this, like reading, okay, with your eyes, and then you have to write, so you have to use your hands specifically. And what are other things that needs to be sharpened in spelling?
I think maybe just to teach the words alone.
Okay.
You need to give them a context sometimes for each
yeah,
word.
so that's good.
Instead of just a rule and then a word.
So we're going now to the vocabulary, isn't it? Is that what you're saying?
It's all kind of interrelated. I'm a firm
Okay.
believer in integration.
That's
if
good.
if you can cover two subjects in
Yeah.
one stone, or two
Yeah.
areas of language arts,
Yeah.
you know, then it saves you time as well.
Yeah, it's true. Because some of the homeschoolers I talked to, they were done with reading, but when spelling, it took them like 2 hours. So do not be try to adjust. Do not force it. That's why we really encourage all of you here to really have a good experience. If you think that kind of area is not really the forte of your child, then you just have to be slowly and just do it another day. So that we call that in Filipino buelo. Kailangan po natin magbuelo. So it's not always a win-win situation in a day. You cannot win every battle in a day. That's why we need to really, maybe one of the things is really have to change our heart in that end. Because like me, I'm very traditionalist. I really want to learn in a very traditional way. I have this
me too.
checklist. I have this, structured style. And then when I homeschool, it's gone.
Yeah.
No more structures. Isn't it like you having all those boys? I can't imagine. And I really, really admire you for that.
No.
It's not easy. But whether your child is 5 or 3 or 1, it's really a matter of heart on how you teach this with good experience. And that's a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
For me, even though you didn't accomplish the task within a day, it's okay as long as you have a good relationship with your child, isn't it?
I think so. And if you find you're getting frustrated,
Yeah.
then to have I think it's maturity too, to just go, this is actually bothering mommy a little
Yeah.
more than normal, and I need to have
yeah.
an attitude check. So how
Yeah.
about we're not going to give up, but we will continue it later and
Yes.
apologize to your child. That's a
That's
lesson learned
good.
already, and it teaches character. And then the spelling is worth it. The
Bravo,
spelling lesson
bravo.
is worth it.
Yes. So, that is spelling, okay? So, it's really important to really build a good foundation in spelling in the early years so that you won't have a hard time when they're big. So, this is really foundational. Kailangan?
I do not
Okay.
let them use spell check on the computer.
Oh, okay.
That
okay.
is my rule.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
they are not allowed because that's part of rough drafts of writing. They
It's
have
true.
to write it out,
It's true.
type it out, print it out,
Yes.
and then I see the first rough draft
And it's
before
good
they
that,
do spell
yeah,
check.
it's good also that you can learn from your mistakes.
right.
That's the goal.
That's
That's
right.
the goal. You will be able to know, oh, I'm not good at here, so I have to adjust on this
Yeah.
level. So thank you so much, Andy, for teaching us
Thank you
a
for
very good
listening and having
way
me.
of teaching spelling without losing your mind.
I've
po-
lost it.
Yeah,
I've lost it sometimes.
yeah, it's true, it's true. But it's a good thing that they won't be able to make our mistakes
Yeah.
anymore, okay?
Yeah.
So ako po si Novi Antan, ang inyong homeschool coach. And always remember, in homeschooling, relationship is more important than academics.
Yeah.
Ako po si Novi Antan and I homeschool. Bye!